Sedlak.
Here.
Shaful Islami. Tatum.
Present.
Vito.
Absent.
Williams.
Here.
Thank you, Clerk Connell. Brings us to our land acknowledgements. Land acknowledgements do not exist in the past tense or historical context. Colonialism is a current, ongoing process, and we need to build our mindfulness of our present participation. Indigenous people are still here and thriving, and we must address them as such. These acknowledgements are a way for us to reflect upon the duality of our work while we make change within our organization and communities. To promote greater inclusivity and abolish inequities, we may perpetuate. We pay our respects to the former inhabitants of the land that George Mason University occupies, the Doeg people. Doeg were brutally enslaved and disastrously annihilated, and colonial Virginia's violent campaigns against them ripped open the land for destruction. We commit to recognizing and uplifting all tribal nations currently and formerly represented in the George Mason student body. We affirm indigenous sovereignty, and more broadly, we commit to increasing awareness of the historical legacies of indigenous dispossession while actively working to dismantle practices of erasure that perpetuate these oppressive legacies in the present. In acknowledgement of those who came before us, the George Mason Student Senate is committed to working toward bolstering, uplifting, engaging with, and fostering authentic relationships with the indigenous student community at Mason. We are dedicated to the positive, mutually beneficial engagement with Virginia's tribal nations, their citizens, and with those who have stewarded their communities and land in the past, present, and continue to do so in the future. As the Student Senate at George Mason University, we commit to honoring and protecting the history of the land we inhabit, both on campus and within the communities we work with. Thank you. That brings us to the approval of the agenda. Are there any objections to the approval of the agenda? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. It brings us to the approval of the journal. Are there any objections to the approval of the journal?
Object.
What's your objection?
To the motion to add the GCR minutes in the journal.
Is the motion properly seconded?
Second.
Would you like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, I had some trouble, but they were late. So
All right, any objections? With unanimous consent, this motion is approved. Are there any further objections to the approval of the journal?
another objection.
What's your objection?
I'd like to motion to replace resolution 3 with the version that was recommended in committee.
Is this motion properly seconded?
Seconded.
Would you like to speak to it?
This was also sent late by mistake.
All right, any objections? No objections, approved with unanimous consent. Any further objections to the approval of the journal? Seeing none, the journal is approved. That moves us to officer reports, which starts with me. To start with business, I wanted to inform everybody of something that Pascal Petter of Auxiliary Services reached out to me and President Weiss about. It's an RFP focus group invitation. Sodexo's contract with George Mason University is set to expire in approximately 2 years, 2025, early 2025. So George Mason is exploring the options of putting out a request for proposal, as they are required to do. Whatever the word is with Virginia state law. So that means that he wants a focus group, or they want a focus group to talk about dining and to make sure to see where they should go. So if anybody is interested in joining a focus group that has to do with a dining RFP, it will likely focus on the current workings of Sodexo and what other options are available. Please let me, Secretary Curry, or President Weiss know. We can ensure that you are invited to the focus group. I'm not sure how many seats are available at the table, but I was told to invite all of you. How many seats are at the table?
It's going to be in the hub.
Oh.
In a student involvement office. Like the
Okay, thank you. So that's the thing. Let me know if you'd like to be involved. Number 2, we officially have confirmed the committees that you all can serve on to represent students within the university administration. It's a long list of them. I will not do it right now to save you all time. I will send out into the Slack opportunities for you all. I would love to see you all serving on these committees, as they're an opportunity to legitimately govern rather than talk about governing. So those will be in the Slack at some point. Please let me or President Weiss know if you'd like to be on those committees, and we will see to it that you sit on them. Finally, Maintain Mason is going to be our first official event. It is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We will meet at the hub. We will pick up garbage, and it will be a fun time. Lots of people are coming. Lots of student organizations are coming. So I hope to see as many of you as I can there. We also had dinner last night at the Matthey House. A few of us were invited by President Washington and his wife, Dr. Nicole Washington. Dinner conversation included movies that I haven't watched, some things about the Matthey House that I don't really remember, and a long discussion about AI policy in the classroom, which is a prime interest of President Washington. And I am confident in saying that President Washington believes that AI is a part of the future, and he wants it to be a part of the educational experience. He believes there should be a uniform policy across all classrooms. So this is something that our university president believes, and I really hope to see that the student government comes to a consensus so that we can send it to his desk and show that either we agree or disagree. Finally, something on a less serious note that I don't have written down, or actually, excuse me, a more serious note that I don't have written down. Last week and this week, again, we continue to see protesters on this campus continuing to cause disruptions and continuing to upset students. Every time I go, I look at the faces of the students that are surrounding them. They are distressed, they are in pain, and they are hurt when they talk to these people that are on the campus. Now, we have explored every possible option as a student government in the past 2 years to try and stop what is happening, and we have yet to find a solution. While it may not be something that this student government can do, I want it to be something that's on the minds of all of you, as it is something that hurts the student body from their interactions with these protesters. And that's all. I yield. Speaker Pro Tempore jumping on.
All right, well, hello everybody. My name is Arush Ramanathan. I'm the Speaker Pro Tempore. If you don't know me, I'm Arush Ramanathan. I'm your Speaker Pro Tempore. At least there's something consistent in all of your lives, and that is my terrible joke. Moving on to my report proper. If you noticed and read the journal, as you all should have, you'll know that there are things in old business that we will be voting on today. I sincerely hope all of you read the corresponding minutes that these resolutions and two bills appeared in. While I won't be particularly harsh about cutting down on rehash for this introductory meeting, I'll still do it if necessary. And going forward, that will be the expectation that I will cut you off if it's something that is going to, for lack of a better idiom, beat to death in committee. This is simply just to make things go faster, make things run smoother, and overall make this a more efficient student senate. On top of that, make sure that you will be doing your office hours. I noticed that we had the thing up on the whiteboard in the committee room, which I thank all of you for that. We'll get an actual sheet out soon. In terms of volunteer hours, August and September will be rolled into one. So when the form comes out late next month, which I guess next month is in like 2 days, but regardless. Late September, make sure that you can still count volunteering you did at the Get Connected Fair, or at Fortnite if you volunteer at Fortnite, or any of the other things that you might have done in August. And that's mostly what I have right now, but if something comes to me, I'll let you know in the announcements.
Thank you. It brings us to the clerk of the student senate, Ethan Collins.
Yep. All procedural stuff tonight. 7 resolutions this evening, 1 resolution next evening, so it looks like a light meeting, but I do believe we are going to have plenty of appointments for the President's Executive Cabinet that meeting, so it's going to be a little bit longer than we expect. For the chairs in the room, if I have not already, and you have not already appointed a vice chair, please let me know when you appoint a vice chair for your committee. I've already got 2 or 3 vice chair meetings scheduled, but for those committees that do not yet have vice chairs, I'm going to be meeting with them early in the year just to set expectations on what minutes should look like, timelines, and everything like that. If you have any resolutions or bills or anything that you would like submitted for the general body meetings, please get those into me by 4:30 on Wednesday, or at least give me an update around 3 p.m. on Wednesday, just so that I can see it coming. But otherwise, I look forward to this meeting and happy to be here.
Thank you, Clerk Connell. Do you have the floor?
I yield.
Thank you. That moves us to the Administrative and Financial Affairs Committee. Chair Tatum.
bearer of bad news, but I've heard back from admin. And if you read the S-Lead minutes, you know that indications are that we are about to suffer a 10% cut around $2,000 to the SG main budget. What does this mean? For one thing, Curtis and I can finally get cracking on the budget resolution that we've been talking about all the time. For another, that means that instead of $20,500, we have $18,450.50 in our main SG budget, which means that 65%, $11,992.50 is available to us this first session. Going to the business of the committee, we passed two bills in the Admin and Finance Committee on Monday, Bill number 1 and Bill number 2. If you read the minutes, you know the discussion on them. If they would both be passed today, $740 in total, that would leave us with $11,252.50 remaining in our first session budget. And with that, I'm still searching for a vice chair for the Admin and Finance Committee. If you're interested in the position, first declare the committee and then ask me for information about the position. With that, I yield.
Thank you, Chair Tatum. That moves us to the University Services Committee, Chair Emery.
Well, we have the first University Services Committee meeting of the semester, and it was already 77 minutes long. But rest assured, we had a productive conversation about the 3 resolutions that we had. One of them passed without any issue, one of them was amended twice, and one was failed, as you can see in the doc later on. This week I had a meeting alongside Chair Watt with Student Health Services concerning the expansion of SCI testing on campus. I'm looking forward to working on that initiative with Chair Watt. We have Maintain Mason this Friday at 3 p.m. from the Hub. I would love for all of you to come join us. And then we have Student Culinary Council next Friday at 2 p.m. in the Ike's Multi-Purpose Room. And I'm still looking for a vice chair. I held off on vice chair election last week just to make sure that committee declarations are all dealt with. But we may have the vice chair election in the confirmation meeting or hearing for the park ranger next week.
Thank you, Chair Emery. Moves us to the Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Committee, Chair Watt. Yes, ma'am.
So in the DAMA meeting, so we passed resolution number 4 this week. DAMA resolution is for this awareness month. We're going to be voting on that today. We also have vice chair, process. Sorry, Morgan Schrimmel came to DAMA and it went well, and I appreciate everyone who's there for feedback on the event. We solidified one of the events, the panel to be on October 11th, 3611. It's either going to be in the JC Beach Room or the Hub Ballroom. I'm not sure yet. We're working on contacting all of the departments that DAMA works with and setting up bi-weekly /monthly meetings and spreading them out to the DAMA meetings so we can all meet with them. Like Chair Emery said, we met with SHS to discuss potentially giving free SCI tests to students in stewardship. So we're going to work more on that. Secretary DAMA wants to continue. Their goal this year is to work towards establishing interfaith prayer rooms on campus so that students and faculty of any religious backgrounds have a private space. They also want to enhance education and understanding of various religious beliefs that our student body represents. And then our undersecretary wants to focus on the cultural RSO board where leaders of multiple RSOs on campus can come together and discuss issues on campus. Senator Ingo wants to create a panel event for Hispanic provisions from September 15th to October 15th. I'm also going to be meeting with the president of the Hispanic Leadership Alliance next week. We haven't solidified a time. And then boards of the week, I'm doing 2 a week just because there's so many I want to go through and highlight. The Best Buddies are Nepalese Student Association, also NSA, and then the graphic for NSA should go up today. And so go support that. And then the last thing I have is please do outreach to RSOs. There are a lot, and I'm one person, and I shouldn't be the only one going and reaching out to RSOs, so people should do that. I yield.
Thank you, Chair Watt. Moves us to the University Life Committee, Chair Vito.
Hi everyone. We had our first ULIFE meeting this week. It was pretty chill, pretty casual. We talked about committee goals and initiative ideas that members had. Committee declarations are rolling in, but we still have more than members, so please declare if that works with your schedule. Secretary Secretary Landon and I have also begun finalizing the date for the farmers market with discussion with the rest of the ESG lead team. So that means that we can hopefully start rest of finalizing and the other points of planning for the farmers market soon. We'll be meeting with Mason Rep next week to discuss potentially continuing and the expansion of the Adulting 101 initiative, which had one event last semester, actually 2 events last semester. And I met this morning with Corey Johnson from the Mason Athletics team to discuss having Mason student government potentially vote on a logo change for the Mason student section, Mason Athletics student section. So we can hear about that soon as well. And I will be having my vice chair elections during my next meeting. So if you're interested, please feel free to come up and ask me questions. I'd love to talk about that.
Thank you, Chair Vito. Brings us to the Government Community Relations Committee. Chair Shafslani.
Apologies for the late minutes. Hopefully that won't happen again next week, I'm not sure. Committee was nice this week. We passed resolutions number 2 and 3. It was amended. We also had a nice conversation, a nice long conversation about what our relationship should be with the Fairfax County Supervisor James Walkinshaw, who represents the district. As for committee, if you're still looking for a committee and 2 p.m. on Tuesdays fits your schedule, please declare. As of right now, I only know 1 person has declared. I need more people. As for other stuff, I have a meeting with the lead office next week. We're going to be talking about collaborating with different events, as well as how we can build a relationship better. I had a meeting with the alumni. I was going to have a meeting with the alumni office on September 12th, but it got delayed to September 21st. That is also the same day I'm having a meeting with the university's GCR office. So that's going to be fun. I'm still looking for a vice chair, so please, if you want to be a vice chair and you want to join a cool committee, please declare. That's it.
Thank you, Chair Shafslani. Moves us to the University Academics Committee. Chair Shabelle.
Hello, everyone. First, I want to congratulate Senator Nina on becoming Vice Chair of Academics. Unfortunately, she's not here, but still nonetheless, I want to congratulate her. Next, in committee, we went over a ton of initiatives that we have, such as Registration Awareness Week, the Stress Fest. I have narrowed the budget down to approximately $1,500 to $1,750. That is ideally what I would like to get all of the things that I'm thinking of. And finally, we had our AI policy debate, and that went pretty well. I believe that the Academics Committee does have a specific stance that we like. I tried to get us to probe the other side more and more. But the more we talked about it, the more I realized that a lot of us are on the same side and we are on the positive. We would like to, support AI, make sure that there's also one unanimous curriculum or policy around it. I'm planning on drafting a little memo document policy thing because the government in me wants to do that. But other than that, the committee has been very good. Please join. We meet unfortunately on Wednesdays at 12 tomorrow. So with that, I yield.
Thank you, Chair Shabelle. Finally brings us to the Faculty Senate Liaison, Senator Friedak.
Yeah, so had a big week. Yesterday was the first Faculty Senate meeting of the semester. They kicked off with a guest, Rector Boris Blackman, for a Q&A. Regarding the provost search, it will begin for a few more months. I asked a question about whether students can be involved in the process, and he was pretty non-committal on that. So we will see if they will be involved at all. Regarding the $54 million budget shortfall for the school, he claimed that there would be no cuts to staffing or programs to address that shortfall. I asked if anything would be cut, to which he said no, the school will just find the money. You can make your own conclusions on how well that's going. Mason lobbies came up and I offered to put any interested faculty senators in contact with our relevant leaders. The rest of the meeting consisted of nominations to committees for the most part. I also raised during that meeting the Code initiative to rename Jackson Hall. Which is currently stalled due to a procedural hurdle regarding the union committee. So I subsequently received an email after the meeting from some history faculty senators with an offer to support us in that initiative. And I'll raise it again in a meeting I had with Melissa Rock, who's president of faculty chair of the staff senate. We're welcoming Dr. Sims on September 8th. If you have anything you'd like to bring up to either the faculty or staff senates, please let me know. Also for my personal main initiative, the history initiative, I won't often talk about my pet projects in these reports. However, this one I will be seeking some help from because I have set up a bi-weekly archive visits with the Fenwick Archives starting on Tuesday, September something. And from 2 to 4 p.m. and we'll be going there every other week following that. So far, I've got Chair Emery and Chair Tatum to join me in those. We are allowed one additional person, so if you're interested in being that person, please let me know. And the next tax meeting will be next Wednesday, and the next faculty senate meeting will not be for another month because the one that's 2 weeks from now. That's it.
Thank you, Senator Fedak. That would bring us to our PR and outreach liaison reports. However, those positions are vacant. I have yet to make a decision whether or not these positions will be appointed before or after the election. But if the initiative is shown, I would be more than happy to make those appointments. That moves us now to the executive report. President Weish.
Hello, everyone. Hope you are all doing fine on this Thursday afternoon. Sorry I could not join you last week. I was busy at the rec field working for fourth nights, but I'm here and I should be here for the rest of the semester unless a similar event arises. A few things today. So our PR department is working on setting up blog posts for the website. So if that's something that interests you, could be a potential avenue. For the executive cabinet, we're going to count that as their volunteer hour for a given month. So that is up to the Senate lead team as to whether they'd like to do the same for the Senate. But if you just want to write blog posts in general, it'll probably be roughly 300 to 500 words about maybe an upcoming event, what you're working on as in terms of an initiative. Cool opportunity. The PR department is also going to be sending out the PR request form. So that's not just going to be for graphics, it can be for logo designs, graphics to be posted on the Instagram, general flyers, anything you can think of that has to do with graphic design they're willing to do for you. However, they are going to be asking for at least 10 days in advance. If it has to be somewhat sooner, they can try, but that's just for their namesake. Also, if you couldn't tell, we're now live streaming on Instagram, so that's what that phone is right there. So watch what you're saying, I guess. And then that live stream, if you were here last year, we had recordings on a camera. What we're thinking about doing this year is we're just going to take the live stream and put that on YouTube. It makes it easier on our PR department, and also we hypothesize that more people are going to be tuning into the live stream than actually going to the recording. So that's cool. Public newsletter, we're going to have that up and running hopefully within the next couple of weeks or so. Secretary Curtis is headlining that. I need to get him one thing for it, so it's partially on me that it hasn't gone out yet. But we did get a lot of signature or a lot of emails from the Get Connected Fair, so that's super cool that we're starting to establish a database for emails to get this sent out to. And then thank you to all the people who did volunteer at the Get Connected Fair. The help was really appreciated. Reaching out to all these new students, also returning students as well. In terms of my own personal big initiative, the Give Black initiative that I'm working on, currently finalizing all the student organizations that are going to be working with us on said initiative. I'm meeting tomorrow with BSA, for example, and then a few other organizations. BLACC is confirmed, CSA is all but confirmed, is almost confirmed, My Natural is confirmed. There's a few other in the list that I'm waiting to hear on, but the first kickoff event is in partnership with the University Life Committee and departments. We're going to be doing it at the farmers market, so more details to come later on once we get a little closer. We're looking at middle October will be when the farmers market will be the kickoff. And then also Task PR with working on monthly student government updates, and these are going to be in a video form. So each month, whether it's someone on the lead team, someone in Senate, exec, or a mixture, we're going to have these video updates that go on the social media. And these are going to be for bigger things that were accomplished throughout that month. And then we're also going to have bi-weekly initiative updates. So that's going to pertain to the executive cabinet platform as well as Senate initiative updates. So make sure you're filling out the initiative update form. And then please sign up for the Into Mason Resource Fair. That's going to be on September 13th. Could use a few more people for tabling there. It's going to be a great opportunity to connect with international students as well. I, along with, I believe, Secretary Corey, will be getting dumped. Are you gonna? Yeah, so we're both going to be getting dumped as a fundraiser for the Patriot Pantry on September 6th. So come out, I believe it's next Wednesday, to I think East Plaza or the Wilkins Plaza area. If you donate money for the Patriot Pantry, you can try and dunk us. And then also, Wilkins Plaza? It is Wilkins Plaza. From 11 to 12. Make sure you enjoy the long weekend, but student involvement will be closed on Monday. So because of that, of course, there won't be any Monday committees. And then thank you, already mentioned that. CCEE training in cabinet tonight. So while it's not required for Senate members, it is highly suggested as you have to partake in the training anyway. And it's going to be their awareness training, so it's going to help us, we're going to take this initial diagnostic and then retake it again at the end of the semester and see if you improved your awareness about different social aspects. And then last but not least, there's been a lot of appointment interviews thanks to Chief of Staff Ferris as well as Vice President Colombo. They've been heading those. So as someone mentioned, for next week, be on the lookout for a lot of appointments. However, we haven't had a ton of applications for the EDC, so please, 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 if you know anyone who might be interested, point it in their direction, because if we don't get 2 more EDC people, we can't have a fall election. And that would not be good. So please, please, please get people to apply. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, President Weish. Moves us to our advisor report, starting with Advisor Cap. Please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having a good week thus far and ready for a 3-day weekend. Like Paul mentioned earlier, thank you for the reminder that student involvement is closed on Mondays, so I will be there. but yeah, student involvement will be closed on Monday as well as the institution itself. Just some quick announcements this evening. Number one, thank you to those who attended the President's Dinner last night. It was a great conversation. I'm really just proud of everyone for really showing up in the space, engaged and willing to listen and learn. I'm just really proud of all of you. It fills my student affairs cup, as I like to say, so thank you for being there. Number two, I am working with IT on the SG listserv, so I just need to ask some questions to empower myself, so I have a meeting with them next week, so we'll get that up and running. Thank you to those who tabled at the RSO Get Connected Fair and collected the emails for that listserv. I really appreciate it. Speaking of the RSO Get Connected Fair, it was really awesome to see student government out there and tabling and talking to students. We really had probably, of course not everyone checks in, but probably close to maybe like 1,000 students pass through just because it was so large and so big. And it was just really awesome to see student government there talking to students and getting them engaged and wanting to be a part of it. So, one last thing, just please allow myself to have at least 24 to 48 hours to answer your email. It just kind of gives me space to find, to either find you an answer, or I might be in another meeting. Besides supervising all of you, I also supervise Student Funding Board, so it's kind of like a balancing act, as I like to say. So please allow me that space to do that. Doesn't mean I don't see it, I promise. I just might not be able to answer right away, okay? As always, if you need anything, you can always make an appointment with me or stop by my office, and I'd be happy to chat. And that's all I have for you this evening, so thank you. And I'll hand it off to Brianna.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. And I'm just excited for a 3-day weekend. I love you all, so I hope you all take care of yourself for this weekend. And then as far as the different committees are concerned, I looked at the different times that you all have. And so I will be joining admin, academics, and GCR. There are some weeks where I won't be able to just because of prior conflicts. But other than that, I'm excited to meet you all some more, talk a little bit more, and if you ever need anything, definitely let me know.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. That now brings us to gallery members. So this is your time, gallery members, if you'd like to be recognized, starting with Secretary Curtis.
Hello, Senate. Nice to be here today on this side, on the gallery side. No, but really I came here to say that last week I met with some students in the JC. I just went around with a notepad and a pen and just asked them, hey, what are your complaints or gratitudes about the campus, school, life, whatever. And I got a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping to meet with Chair Chitbell soon to talk about the academics information I got. I'm also hoping to actually meet with Clerk Connell because I noticed we didn't have the minutes for this Senate session. So none of your guys' work could be displayed, sadly. But I was able to just talk to them about future things that we could potentially do. In fact, me and Chair Emery went to the JC and identified places in the JC that were broken. We took pictures of those, so hopefully services can get on that as well. But I will be doing the same thing tomorrow at around 4:30. I will go to the SG room, so if anyone wants to go there with me, all we do is we just go, say hi to a student, introduce ourselves, and listen to them as I think a good government should. So that's it. I yield.
Thanks, Secretary Curtis. Any further members of the gallery? Undersecretary Major.
Hi guys. So as Paul said, we are having SG blog post, and that as of today is on the website. If you go under member resources, you can sign up to make a blog post, and we'll be publishing them on Mondays and Fridays starting from September. So September 4th is the first day you can make a blog post for those of you interested. And yeah, for the next 2 months we have available slots. So feel free to sign up. And yeah, under the member resources tab, you should find it. I yield.
Thank you, Undersecretary Major. Any further members from the gallery who seek recognition? Now is your time.
Hi.
All right. Well, that will bring us into business.
Motion.
But before business, there is a motion on the floor.
I move to a 5-minute recess for terms of accessibility.
Is this motion properly seconded?
Second.
Is there any objections? Well, with unanimous consent, 5-minute recess. What do you need?
I need to set the timer. Hold on.
Farouche is going to set the timer. And recess.
You forgot.
I know.
Hopefully gonna get a new picture. That's why I've got a picture at the end of my sophomore year. How do you do that?
Second, I yielded my report.
Are there people watching this shit?
I
All right. Brings us out of a recess. And a nice flip part. It's time for business. Business begins with resolution number 2 to support Rock the Block 2023. This is sponsored by Clerk Connell. Do you have an author statement?
I do, yeah. I'm not going to speak too long on this. Rock the Block is a time-honored tradition that we've been doing with the City of Fairfax. It's a great way for us as a student government to connect with them and just Fairfax proper. And it is just a really great way for us to stay connected. I know we had them in last semester, and they spoke at length about how they want the connection between our two bodies to be as strong as possible, and just another way for that to happen. I yield.
Thank you, Clerk Connell. That brings us to discussion and debate upon the resolution. Is there any discussion or debate upon the resolution? All right, seeing none. Let's vote.
All right. When I call your name in sequence, I would like you to please call your vote. If you would like to vote in the affirmation of the legislation or support of the legislation, when I call your name, please say aye. If you wish to vote in the negation or against the resolution, please say nay. And if you would like to record an abstention when I call your name, please say abstain. Starting with Alam.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chadvell.
Aye.
Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta. Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jomanathan.
Aye.
Macaulay.
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat.
Aye.
Richter.
Aye.
Saimi.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shahol Islami.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
And Williams. That is 24 in the affirmation and 1 abstention.
That means it passes. Next order of business. Resolution number 3, resolution to support the 9/11 Day of Service. Is there an author statement from Clerk Connell?
There is, yeah. 9/11 Day of Service is something that we have taken part in over the past couple of years. It's a really great way for us to be involved with a good community service event on campus. This year, they're doing it a little bit differently. There are multiple service points that you can take part in across campus, as well as virtually, which is a new thing that they're rolling out. On a personal note, aside from this initiative, it's very personal to me. September 11th is my birthday. As a birthday present to me, I would like you all to consider volunteering on Monday the 11th. I will be there, and I hope to see you guys there as well. I yield, and happy to answer any questions you have.
Is there any discussion or debate upon the resolution? Chair Islami.
The reason this was amended was because I felt saying we're doing this, we're going to support this event because it falls under the GCR. I felt that was kind of wrong, so I amended it, changed the second clause. That's it.
Thank you. Any other discussion or debate upon the resolution? Senator Fox.
What sort of service projects are going to be are involved in this?
Would you like to yield to the question?
I yield. Plenty of things. There's litter cleanup, campus beautification. There's some food pantry donation sites. There are things where you can just donate time to different organizations in Fairfax proper. I believe there is one with a retirement community. I think there's one, they're doing that this year. But your usual service obligations.
Thank you. I yield.
Any further discussion or debate upon the resolution? I will speak on this resolution. I read this in committee, but I'm choosing to read this here again. I'm from Homedale, New Jersey. Homedale, New Jersey is a commuter town to New York City. In New Jersey, 7 people died on 9/11. Their names are Eric Stallman, Paul Barbaro, Chi Min, Michael Patrick LaFord, Matthew Picerno, Gregory Preziosi, and Gregory Reedy. We will now vote on the resolution.
Same process as before. When I call your name, please call out your vote, starting with Alam.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chevelle.
Aye.
Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbanathi.
Aye.
Macaulay.
Aye.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat.
Aye.
Richter.
Aye.
Saimi.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shahol Slami.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Zaman.
Aye.
The resolution passes unanimously.
That moves us to next order of business, resolution number 4, a resolution to support Disability Awareness Month. Is there an author statement?
Yes, that's why I just was sorry. I had a meeting with the heads of Disability Services, Jamila and Emily last semester, where they talked about Disability Awareness Month, along with disability awareness, which is supporting the disabled community on campus. With the help from the city government, they're going to be putting on events such as the Sabbath Disco Game Night, and the biggest event of that month is a panel. We talked about it, and we're going to also be supporting the disability awareness on campus by highlighting their events and collaborating with them. They need city government's help planning and promoting the events. If this resolution passes, we'll be able to do these things and support the community on campus. I yield.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or debate upon the resolution? Actually, excuse me, I'm going to point of order myself. I meant to be asking for committee reports after each resolution. So is there a committee report? That just means you say what the votes were.
Pass unanimously.
Thank you. All right, any discussion or debate upon the resolution? Seeing none, moves us to a vote. Excuse me?
Yes,
Oh, sorry, Senator Fox, you're recognized.
we discussed with someone in Office of Disability Services, and it seems like this is going to be a great initiative. I yield.
Thank you, Senator Fox. Any further discussion or debate upon the resolution? Seeing none, moves to a vote. Clerk Collins.
All right. For resolution number 4, resolution to support Disability Awareness Month. Alam.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chevelle. Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbanathi.
Aye.
Macaulay.
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat.
Aye.
Richter.
Aye.
Saini.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shahol Slami.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Zaman.
Aye.
That is 25 in the affirmation, 1 abstention.
That means the resolution passes. That now brings us to resolution number 5, a resolution to support Maintain Mason. Is there an author statement?
Yes, there is. Every other Friday of the semester at 3 p.m. in the hub, we will be going out for a meeting and then going out to pick up trash across the Fairfax campus. We'll provide volunteers with gloves, bags, and grabbers. It's a phenomenal opportunity to partner with organizations and to bring the community together. And I look forward to having as many people in this room as possible at this place. I yield.
Thank you, Chair Emery. Is there a committee report?
Yes. The resolution itself passed unanimously. The First Amendment, or actually, yeah, it passed unanimously.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or debate upon the resolution? Seeing none, moves us to a vote. Clerk Collins.
All right. For resolution number 5, a resolution to support Maintain Mason, starting once again with Alam.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chevelle.
Aye.
Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbanathi.
Aye.
Macaulay.
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat.
Aye.
Richter.
Aye.
Saimi.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shekol Islami. Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Zaman.
Aye.
That is 25 in the affirmation and 1 abstention.
Resolution passes. All right, the next order of business. I'm not the speaker.
Yay. All right, so we'll move into resolution number 6, a resolution to support the implementation of the Energy Efficiency and Resiliency Action Plan. Is there an offer statement?
Yes, there is.
Speaker Pro Tempore McCullough.
So, this was discussed at length in committee on Tuesday. I apologize for the confusion that was caused. That's on me. I did not provide an author statement. I was not able to attend committee. Today, I will clear all of that up. Your Energy Efficiency and Resiliency Action Plan is George Mason's new climate action plan. What it will do is it will bring this university to being carbon neutral by 2040. It will bring this university to being carbon net zero by 2050. And it's going to cost us approximately $600,000. We are working with an energy firm named GMU Incorporated. GMU Incorporated is headquartered in California. They have implemented over 30 energy efficiency and resiliency action plan type projects across the country at universities similar to George Mason and corporate campuses larger than George Mason. So, this is an experienced firm. We will be getting steering committee involvement. We will have representatives in every steering committee meeting that has to do with this plan. There is an ambitious pathway to discovering our net present value of carbon. Now, what that means is we will see how much money in carbon this campus is worth and how we can maintain that cost while switching over to clean energy. We will discover what our social cost of carbon is. This is a metric given by the EPA that is meant to help with climate justice values. What this plan lacks is strong stakeholder engagement due to this company being headquartered in California. That means that a lot of meetings will be held over Teams. Teams is not my favorite. I prefer a personal touch when it comes to important meetings, but that's what we have, and there will be people on campus when we need them. It also lacks a strong analysis on effects of energy policy to disadvantaged communities. Now, I sat in on many meetings at the end of last semester regarding the Energy Efficiency and Resiliency Action Plan, which will be referred to as ERAP from now on. I don't believe that engineers are the ones to find out how we can create an equitable and climate justice for the future. I don't believe engineers are it. I believe it is the job of students. I believe it is the job of faculty at George Mason. I believe it is the job of those communities around us. Engineers are not the ones to do it. So it gives us an opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to work with ARI. It gives us an opportunity to work with the Mason Sustainability Council to create our own equitable future in terms of climate justice. What this plan will do is this plan will make our university sustainable. It will make this university carbon net zero, which was not required and GLUMAC went out and did it anyway. It will also, and if anybody really knows their stuff, they will also be engaging with Scope 3 emissions. They will find a way to both reduce upstream and downstream Scope 3 emissions. I see maybe one or two people who know what I'm talking about there. But it's a one-year plan at the moment. Over 1 year, they're going to perform energy audits across the university to discover exactly what they need to do. Over the next 2 years, they're going to implement solutions that are current and present. They acknowledge that the technology is not there currently to do what we want to do, which is 2040 and 2050. But they will be attempting to use every possible avenue, whether or not geothermal becomes more accessible, whether or not hydrogen power becomes something that universities will have more access to due to lowering costs. Any technological advancement that is had, GLUMAC will bring us. It's what we got. We had nothing a year ago. We have something today, and what it is today is a good plan. So that's the Energy Efficiency Resiliency Action Plan. What our job is to ensure that we are there for the student body, to ensure that we are involved, to ensure that the plan is properly implemented, and to ensure that we are holding them accountable to what they are signing a contract for. And that's why this resolution is on the floor today. It's to ensure that this student government stands behind the ERAP. So I'm done talking now, and I'll let you all talk. So I'll yield the floor.
Thank you for that lengthy author statement, Speaker Pro Tempore. Is there a committee report on this resolution?
Yes, the resolution itself passed unanimously. However, it was amended twice. The first amendment passed unanimously, but the second amendment passed with 5 in affirmation and 1 in negation.
Thank you, Chair Emery. This will now move us into discussion and debate on the resolution currently at hand. Is there any discussion and or debate? Chair Owen. Oh boy, Clerk Connell.
Yeah. Less catchy name than the Climate Action Plan, but I remember how vehemently and strongly this body fought for the implementation of a Climate Action Plan, and how you stood, or we stood, in front of Merton during the Board of Visitors and fought for that as well. This is the manifestation of that. This is the implementation of that, and I hope to see this body speak for and fight for this as vehemently as they did the Climate Action Plan. I yield.
Great. Liaison Fidel.
I move to amend the title of the resolution to replace implementation and creation.
Is there a second? Are there any objections?
I object.
Please state your objection.
Student government's not creating anything. The plan's already created, and what we're doing is implementing the plan.
This will move us into discussion on the resolution. Are there any who wish to speak, or discussion on the amendment? Are there any who wish to speak either for or against this amendment? Liaison Fidel.
Yeah, I would like to speak to my motion, but the plan is not created. There's a contract to get a firm to do the audit to decide how to create the plan. The plan, we don't have that unless that's being kept from us, because that was specifically not provided. I think that title just more accurately represents what the resolution as it now contains, since the wording was changed. I think that more accurately represents what's inside the resolution itself. It doesn't significantly change anything, it's just more accurately represents it.
Anyone else who wishes to speak? Senator Cuesta.
Point of information, could Senator please repeat the title?
Please.
Okay. I move to amend, it's just replacing the word implementation in the title with creation.
Does this satisfy your point?
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else who wishes to speak? Speaker Pro Tempore McCauley.
Within the 120-page contract, the master plan is outlined over the next 3 years. That's all. I yield.
Does anyone else wish to speak on this motion? Chair.
This is a bit topical to the amendment or the motion itself. I want to remind the body that the resolution was amended to reflect our support for the creation of, rather than the implementation of. So this matches the body of the resolution itself. That's all I will comment on for now. I yield.
All right, thank you.
I rescind the objection.
As the objection is rescinded, we are now moving into voting on the amendment. Are there any objections to voting on this amendment, or any objections to the amendment writ large? Seeing none, I assume unanimous consent and pass the motion to amend the title to a resolution to support the creation of the Energy Efficiency and Resiliency Access Plan. Moving back to discussion and debate on the resolution at hand, is there any further discussion and debate? Seeing none, apologies, Senator Fox.
I think that we should keep in mind, I am absolutely in support of the creation of a plan and following this to see what comes of it. But I think we should keep in mind that this is, students will be involved, but this is still like a private corporation doing this, and I think we should exert as much pressure as we possibly can. And that we should have like specific goals for what we want to see from this plan beyond what has been said by Speaker McCauley.
Thank you, Senator Fox. Do you?
I do.
Thank you, Senator Fox. Are there any further people who wish to discuss or debate on the resolution at hand? Senator Zaman.
Point of information, is this contract binding? Like, I know like the technology has not been made, but once they do the evaluation of what our college needs, like let's say there's a technology or a better price made by another company, can we use their evaluation plan and present it to another company and get the job done?
Do you have this question?
Just clarification, are you asking about working with another company as well?
I'm just saying that can we use their evaluation plan if another company comes up with a better technology that's more like cheap and good, or is it just the contract binding, like $600,000?
To answer the question, GluMac can purchase whatever technology they may choose from whatever company they may choose to implement this plan if they view that as which energy they need in the future if new technology arises. But we are binded to GluMac to be the ones implementing the plan that they presented.
Does this satisfy your point?
Yeah, so the price tag is not going to change, the $600,000.
The price tag is not going to change. The price tag, we're paying for what is currently in the contract, which totals out at about $585,000.
Does this satisfy your points of inquiry? Thank you. Is there any further discussion or debate on this legislation? Chair Everett.
I just want to remind the body that the action clauses have been amended so that the last action clause states that we will do a later review and approval of the ERAP. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. I yield.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion and or debate on this resolution at hand? All right, seeing none, I ask Clerk Connell to move into the voting procedures.
All right, for resolution number 6, a resolution to support the creation of the Energy Efficiency and Resiliency Action Plan. I'll change that later. Along. Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chidvel. Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbinathan.
Abstain.
McCauley.
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat.
Aye. And 20%
Granted.
Richter.
Aye.
Saini.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shahola Salmi.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
Williams. And Zaman.
Aye.
That is 24 in the affirmation and 2 abstentions.
And with that, the bill does pass. All right, this will bring us into discussion debate on bill number 1, a bill to allocate funds for the September 11th day of service. Is there an offer statement?
There is. Like I spoke on earlier, 9/11 Day of Service, very important aspect of our university's community service. It is tradition that we as a body provide lunch for volunteers on that day through a donation to the university, and this is the spending bill as such. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. I yield.
Is there a committee report on this bill?
There is. The bill passed unanimously in committee.
Thank you. This will now bring us into discussion and debate on the bill at hand. Is there any discussion and debate? Speaker, person for McCall.
Just want to, should we say journal voucher? It's a point of information.
Clerk Connell, do you yield?
It doesn't change the semantics of the legislation since we're allocating it anyway. If it would make the body feel more comfortable, I'm sure that we could do so, but yeah, I yield.
Yield the floor.
The chair would like to remind this body that should such an amendment wish to be made, anybody can make such an amendment. Should be fairly self-explanatory, but you know, here we are. Is there any further discussion and or debate on this legislation?
For information, could the author of the bill speak to why there aren't any additional funds appropriated for any unforeseen fees as we traditionally do with bills of this kind?
Clerk Connell, do you yield?
I do yield. $500 is the amount that they ask for, the university asks for every year, and what is not spent is they use all the $500. And, yeah.
That's satisfied your point.
Yes, it does. I yield.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion and or debate on this legislation? Seeing none, I ask the clerk to bring us into a vote.
All right, for bill number 1, when I call your name, please call out your vote. Starting with Along.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chidvel. Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbonathan.
Abstain.
Macaulay.
Abstain.
Patterson. Rawat is not here. Richter.
Aye.
Saini.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Shahol Islami.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vitel.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Zaman.
Aye.
That is 23 in the affirmation and 2 abstentions.
And with that, the bill does pass. So, during some discussion on bill number 2, a bill to allocate funds for the hammocks in the Grove. Is there an author statement?
Yes.
Please.
Hammocks are popular. Every time I go by, there's 2. I hear complaints from those that use them that they go to the Grove and there aren't hammocks available. Chief of Staff Ferris and I made the decision that we should buy some more, so we're buying some more. Also, one of them just broke. I don't know why, but it broke. So we'll have 3 now instead of 4, but more hammocks is fun. I yield.
Thank you. Is there a committee report on this legislation?
There is both the bill and the amendment to it passed unanimously.
Thank you, Chair Tatum. So now we're going to discussion and debate on this bill. Is there any discussion and debate? Chair Schifel.
I motion that we amend it to 3 hammocks instead of 2 hammocks since one of them broke.
Is the motion properly seconded?
Seconded.
Would you like to speak to the motion?
One of them broke. So we should replace it. So we have 4 again.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Schifel. Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing no objections, I will assume unanimous consent and ask that the clerk update the monetary totals as well to reflect that, given that the unit price is present.
Mm-hmm.
While we wait for that, is there any further discussion and/or debate on this legislation? Senator Fox.
Are they good hammocks?
Yes.
All right. I yield.
Great. Is there any further discussion and debate? Chair Tatum.
Yes, to speak more on the amendment we made in committee, this will bring the bill in line with a new format for budget allocations that we want to move forward. As you'll note, it now has the quote and the unit price for the hammocks as well as the general amounts allocated. Moving forward, I hope that this is the general format for all budget allocations because it makes both mine and Curtis's jobs easier. I'll probably make it a code amendment later on next month. I'll also note this would increase the amount we're spending this this meeting from $740 to $860. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Tatum. Commissioner Westland.
What information, is there a reason why there aren't additional funds for unforeseen fees, taxes, etc.?
Do you yield to this question?
I mean, I don't know. I yield.
Does this satisfy your point, Mr. Reed? Clerk Arnold, do you yield?
Yes. So as a state institution, we do not pay taxes on our purchases, and this is an exact quote from website. There are no unforeseen, there will not be any unforeseen costs. We're going through Amazon Prime. We have a Prime account. We don't pay for extra shipping and handling. This is an exact cost, an exact quote. We want to get as close to that as possible.
Does it satisfy your point? Great. Is there any further discussion and/or debate on the amended legislation?
Actually.
Donald.
Yeah, to that point as well, trying really hard to move away from allocating too much money for unforeseen costs this year, because if you do just a little bit extra work, you can find an exact cost, and doing those unforeseen cost additions to our bills gives us with a lot of dead money that we have allocated but not spent, and so we end the year with a lot more money than we should. So, yeah, just going to work on having more precise costs this year as well. I yield.
Thank you. Clerk Arnold, is there any further discussion and debate on this legislation? Seeing none, I ask the clerk to move us into a vote.
All right, for bill number 2, last one of the night. Alam.
Aye.
Babar.
Aye.
Casas.
Aye.
Chevelle.
Aye.
Connell. Aye. Covey.
Aye.
Cuesta.
Aye.
Emery.
Aye.
Fedak.
Aye.
Fernandez.
Aye.
Fox.
Aye.
Grossman.
Aye.
Hepler.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Jumbonathan.
Abstain.
Macaulay.
Abstain.
Patterson.
Aye.
Rawat. Richter.
Aye.
Saini.
Aye.
Sedlak.
Aye.
Chahol Sami.
Aye.
Tatum.
Aye.
Vito.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
And Zaman.
Aye.
That is 24 in the affirmation and 2 abstentions.
And with that, the bill will pass. Is out of old business and into new business, of which resolution number 8, a resolution to adopt the student action toolkit, will be sent to the GCR committee. None. This brings us into other business, which there is none. Are there any announcements? Yes. That's fine. You can have that. Have fun.
Rouge just attempted a coup, right in front of your very eyes. All right. Senator Friedak.
I made a little mistake in my report. I'm not moving the list on Monday because the school is closed. That's on Tuesday.
Chair Emmer.
Please come over to Maintain Mason tomorrow. We'll be meeting in the hub at 3 p.m. It'll be fun.
Senator Saini.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well, and I'll be updating you on my American Foundation for Suicide Prevention plus GMU volunteering. May I please do the
Yes, you may.
So I had a meeting with AFSB local chapter director just before our Senate meeting, and we spoke about a couple of things that I am going to go over right now. So CAPS may not participate. As you all know, I am my effort is to create a teamwork for our campus, since I am not allowed to create a local chapter on campus. And CAPS may not participate as the captain, but they may connect me with the faculty for creating a teamwork. The second, there will be tabling events more coming up with CAPS and AFS cooperation, and I will be involved as a student government representation. There will be presentation on toxic lives that we also had last semester. However, this will be virtual on September 12th, so mark your calendars at 3 p.m. This is open to anyone, and the registration will be on the Mason 360. So please register. It will be a good training for all of you. Now we get to our main business, Mason student teamwork. The team will be a student team and not Mason hoop team. However, the team does not represent the university. It represents the students and faculty only. I am familiar with the unique name, other than GMU WAC, since it's not university associated. Students themselves did a good job promoting across the campus and getting the student engaged. I am looking for faculty member to support the team, and the walk will be around the campus, on the campus. Since I may not get the sport recreational area, since there may be practices, so that is really not promising. So, and the venue is will be the next step of my job. I have to determine the venue and the date, which venue determines the date of this event. So mark the calendars for the future. And so yeah, the next step is to create for me. Well, I am just updating you all. My next step is to create a link for this event and promotion. So and restoration will be coming soon. Thank you, and I yield.
Thank you, Senator Sain. Chair Senator Klamath.
If anyone's looking for an internship, I was just informed of an opportunity for someone running for any re-election for supervisors. Interested, talk to me. Wait, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Smash Bros.
Thank you, Chair Senator Klamath. Senator Williams, you still seek the floor?
Yeah, your fun campus event is a reminder. If you stay on campus for Labor Day weekend, there's a game show and a field day on Saturday. If you want to dunk a basketball coach and some basketball players in the dunk tank, come to President's Park. I yield.
Senator Zaman.
Hi, I started a new job as a financial well-being peer mentor, but that's not the whole point of me talking. So what I basically do is I work with the financial aid office at the sub 1. The new director came. So currently what I do is I train high school kids and EIP kids to how to be better financially prepared with college. But I've been holding presentations with Oliver Mason with study abroad, GEO, and the University 100 classes with how to maintain budget and create credit and how to do financial aid. But there is a new FAFSA coming up, so we are also holding workshops on that. So we are offering presentations to all the RSOs. We already got a presentation with financial planning and wealth management at the School of Business RSO. So if you want, I can provide the QR code or the website in the Slack group chat where you guys can request a meeting so that you guys are better prepared to fill out the FAFSA that's coming out in December. So that's all from my end.
Thank you. I think Senator Quest has something special for us.
Finally. Well, I have one announcement first and then something special. Okay, so firstly, I'm very excited to announce that we're going to have a beach volleyball tournament for all of campus. So we're going to be partnering up with housing, and each building is going to represent a team. We're going to have summer and fall is going to be freshmen, and during the spring is going to be upperclassmen competition. So this time, the freshmen are going to compete for who's going to be the best building. Of course, you'll see, hopefully it's Adams. Then next spring is going to be upperclassmen competing for who's going to be the best building, and then we're going to have upperclassmen and freshmen compete against each other and see who's the best building at George Mason. So I think that we, as the Mason student government, should make this our initiative. I think the student government should, be part of like the referees and organize this and put in front of this, because this is not my initiative. I think this should be our initiative and show like Mason student government is doing this to increase student life here at Mason. And more updates are going to happen later on. I'm communicating with housing, hopefully with recreation, and we'll start September 15th. So that's like next Saturday is when the tournament will start. We're going to start advertising next week. And I will have a resolution to pass so that we can actually go with this and put our name in it. Thank you. And then next, if you didn't know, 2 days ago, it was Sarah's Emery's birthday. And I would like to invite you guys to sing happy birthday with me. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chelsea. Happy birthday to you.
A new decade for Austin, 20. Senator Fedak.
I'll make this quick, even though it is the most important announcement you will ever hear. Tonight at midnight I will be releasing a new Kazoo single called Peaking Preschool. Under my name, Sam Ellis Saylor. It'll be on all streaming services. You should listen to it.
There'll be a listening party in Liberty Square. You got something?
I do.
All right.
So for those of you who got my Slack message, you know what I'm about to say. For those of you who didn't, Shreyas is here, and immediately following this meeting, he will be taking official portraits for all of our new senators and any of the senators who want another picture. Other than that, obviously not this coming Monday because we have Labor Day off, but I will be in the student involvement office every Monday from 11 to 4:15. If that time doesn't work for you and you want to schedule a meeting, just send me an email or a Slack message and we'll get together. If you guys have any ideas about legislation or any ideas about anything else or anything I can help you with, just come and find me. I yield.
Thank you, Irfan. Speaker Pro Tem for Chumbanati.
I'll first go with Senator Fox.
If we're allowed to make announcements for pretty much anything. So Young Democratic Socialists has their first general body meeting of the year tomorrow. If anyone's interested, I yield. I don't know when, Mark.
Thank you, Senator Fox. Actually, actually, it's a great segue to your outreach hour. There will be a form for September and August. Who's making it? Probably me, but we'll find out. I already mentioned the volunteer hour. Make sure that you put a committee, because if you don't do that training, not the specific one, but like one of the two trainings that you're required to do, you will get a strike. Don't make me send that email out, because that's just nothing for anybody. Apart from that, on a more personal note, I hope everyone enjoys their long weekend. I know I will. I'm going to be spending some time with my family, so if you email me, I will still respond, but I won't be happy about it, so please don't. Just take a weekend off, please. Apart from that, I'd just like to correct Speaker Macaulay really quick. It wasn't an attempted coup, it was just a coup. Jokes apart, thank you all for being here.
Excuse me. All right. I've got nothing for y'all, so it's 5:50. No further announcements. Adjourned.